Welcome, friends, to our Friday's practice titled Yoga for Stress Reduction. I have nicknamed this class Mini Movies. Play what you want. Okay, so this idea of yoga for stress reduction, it talks about the relationship between our brain, right? So our mind and also our hearts. So we're going to be working in the connection between the focus of our mind and aligning that with our hearts. All right. So this has been a long road for me. I did not know that my brain, from the time I was very young, was patterned for stress and anxiety. Like that was my default mode network. Like that's where my brain hijacked me and put me in an anxious state for many years. And then what I've come to realize is that yoga has tools to begin to integrate our nervous systems. So let's start together. I'm gonna go to the mat and find yourself in a tall seat, and then we'll go together. Welcome to class. Okay. Begin nurturing yourself from the very beginning. So anything that you need to bring your spine up tall, just give your shoulders a little wiggle, and then invite yourself to settle. Become aware of your breath. So not trying to manage anything, just simply become aware of your breath. So this place of practicing yoga mindfully, tuning in and becoming aware, I like to think of it as the principle of shedding light, right? So just trying to get a little bit of light into the body. Okay, so when we're wandering in the default mode network, so that's the on the top of your brain towards the back, it tends to wander, fantasize, ruminize. So what we do is, in order to shift the gear into understanding, is we bring our conscious thoughts to the front of the brain. The cortex is at the top, and the way we're going to do that is simply notice any sensation in your body. Any places of comfort or tension. Just stay in the noticing. And if your mind has drifted away into a movie of what you need to do next, or a replay of a movie that you just played beforehand, just allow yourself to acknowledge without getting involved with it. One more soft breath here to the heart. Okay, so nice and easy. In between each postures, we're going to have a little bit of decompressing or shifting the energy. So already you might start to notice the joints in your knees and your ankles. So let's offer that a little care. And then you're going to get to decide what you like. So let your legs go straight and maybe point and flex your feet. Maybe do a little heel drag. So as you heel drag, do it slowly. Just notice Okay, now draw your heels in. And then let's take one small tabletop. Make the chest puffy, roll the shoulders back, lift the pelvis up an inch or two, or to a place that feels comfortable to you. Take a breath there. And then as you exhale, let it go. And then here, let the legs go wide and see if you like a little bit of windshield wipering. It's starting to cultivate this place of nurture by tuning into how your body is moving. Okay. Let's shift to all fours. Maybe put the blanket underneath your knees. So this connection to the heart and the mind, let's begin opening up the space through the chest and the armpits with something called puppy pose or anahata pose, heart unstruck. Walk your hands out a little bit. I like to use spider fingers, but you find your comfortable placement with your hands. And check in with your feet, maybe tops down, maybe toes turn under, and start to slowly shift your pelvis back. So you don't need to go very far. Keeping the lumbar spine in neutral. Okay, once you greet your sensation, so not trying to overdo, just find a place that's comfortable for you. Maybe you like to place your elbows down and shift back. Go slowly and explore it. And then once you find your opening, allow your head to rest. So maybe you put a pillow under your head or to the block, or maybe you're able to put your head down to the mat. And then we're going to be breathing here for about 10 rounds. Stay in the sensation, right? We want to stay in the awareness. Again, acknowledging when we wander away, we're in that default mode network. And left to its own devices, usually that default mode network is critical, judgmental. Okay, sense your breath in your body. Notice your ankles. Notice your knees. Notice your lower back. And then come from a place where you're going to honor your opening, your body, your being. All right? You don't need anybody's permission to come out of the pose earlier. If that suits you, please do that. Notice how the sensation starts to shift around. Right, so this arc of aging, as we get older, there's stiffness in the joints, tightness in the muscles, and all of that starts to translate from the body to the brain. So creating a little bit of spaciousness through this heart center, offering ourselves care and nurture. And just notice how we're in here in hip flexion, how the body sensation starts to get a little bit stronger or ebbing and flowing. And it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's not okay to be in pain. Okay, let's take another soft breath here. Fill the prana into your body. Exhale and let it go. Okay, walk your hands in, coming up through all fours. It should feel a little creaky here, right? So just notice the sensation in through the hips. And then let's begin, again, dragging the foot. So place the top of the right foot down on the mat, and then simply slide that foot away from you. Feel the opening through the hip flexor, maybe belly turns on a little bit, and then return it. Okay, now make it as soft and slow as you can. All right, just explore it a little bit. You might have to make friends with the mat as you're dragging the heel forward and back. Okay, one more. Feel your belly supporting your lower back. And then once again, let that knee settle down. Let the knees go wide. Drop down to your forearms. And then shift a little bit from side to side. And then maybe you stay here, relaxing your head, creating a little bit of space in the cervical spine, the space between your head and your heart. Or maybe you're interested in shifting back into a child's pose. Offer yourself the care that you need. Nurture yourself. Okay, letting go of what you think you should do, coming into that place of mindfulness and allowing and being in the moment. Breathe. Feel your breath in your body. And start to engage those front cortexes of the brain with an intention. Maybe an intention to move slowly with kindness and ease, to be there in your body, present. Okay, and when you're ready in your time, let's shift back up to that all fours position again. Let the knees come back into neutral, and then let's focus our attention now on the left side. Top of foot down, slide it out, and draw it back in. Tune in as much as you can. So as your foot slides out, where do you feel it? And then notice, are you able to stay with yourself? Does it feel too slow? Encourage yourself to focus. Maybe you can start to activate those deep transverse abdominal muscles, those muscles of stabilizing through the core that allow us to be supported through the heart all the way to the head. Okay, nice and easy. Lower that knee down. Once again, let the elbows come down to the mat. And this time we're going to come into a side bend. So elbows come down, take your left arm over the midline, and then shift your weight back. So not trying to overdo, but creating a little bit of space through the shoulder. So there's this fourth energy center, that heart center. It's also related to your upper back and shoulders, your arms and your chest. Relax your head and breathe. Sense your breath in your body. Okay, one more breath here. Be embodied. And then slowly draw yourself back up through all fours. Shift your weight from side to side. Let your hips sway a little bit. As you do that, you're going to start to notice the sensation in the hip crease lessens a little bit. Right? So we're actually opening through the hips, swaying slightly from side to side. Just let your head find that natural movement, whatever it is for you. Give yourself permission to move organically as you shift from side to side. Okay, now let's settle in, ground down in center as we shift back once again, and then find the other arm over the midline. Move slowly, explore the opening. So allow the focus to be that rib cage, armpit, and then lastly, allow your head to rest. So maybe you let it rest on a block, on the mat. Draw all of your focus towards that side waist, armpit. Notice the sensation there. And if the brain has wandered away, that's okay. That's its job. All right, so call yourself back to whatever catches your attention. Be present, tune back in. Okay, nice and easy. Bring it back through the center. This time, find yourself once again seated. Let the chest be puffy, so lift the chest, and then once again, paddle the heels out. And then let's go through, you're going to start to decide how much movement you want here as we move on. Maybe you lift up into one tabletop. Maybe you simply rest. And then maybe you discover a little bit of windshield wiper. All right, so just enough to decompress through those joints. Okay. So let's continue opening through the body. I'd like the focus to be on the spine. So I'm going to use a blanket to sit underneath my tailbone. Pelvis is going to be in neutral today. So maybe you sit squarely on the blanket instead of an anterior tilt. Let the legs be away from you and the knees drop out to the side in Tadasana, star pose. Options here to slide the pillows underneath and to lean forward in a tall spine, or take the pillows on top, drop your elbows and relax here. So find what feels good to you. Okay, and then after you find your comfortable place, release yourself from moving and simply be with whatever sensation arises. And then make sure you're tuning in. So we're not trying to create a pain sensation. So what does the sensation feel like? If it's sharp, I need you to back away. Now, as we've been here for a couple of breaths, you might find there's a little bit more. So in that place, let the exhale, let the body grow a little bit heavier. Again, it's releasing a holding by being present with what is here now. Feel your breath in your body. Creating a little bit of length in the spine. So we're looking for a little bit of sensation, but no pain. If you feel any pain, I'd like you to simply lift up and be in the legs only. Okay, notice how quickly the mind wants to leave. Call yourself back. Notice all the sensation here for 2 more breathing cycles. Okay, now slowly, wherever you are, begin transitioning back up. So slowly, go slow. Notice all the sensation in the body. Take the prop out, set it aside, and then once again, lean back, let the chest be puffy, and then paddle your heels out. Maybe tabletop. That opens through the hip flexors. Or maybe windshield wiper. Stillness is appropriate at any time. So you're going to start to tune in as we go on that your body might want less and less movements. It's just paying attention on purpose. Okay. And then let's release wherever you are. Let's begin setting up for opening through the hips. Let's go slow. So lengthen the left leg out and cross the right leg over the midline. Please have a block or blanket handy. First start in a number 4, and maybe you use the block to support the lever. If you have the opening where you can take the leg across and stack knee to knee, or maybe you place the block underneath. Okay. Now offer yourself as much care as you can. Feel your spine. So let this be about your spine. Let your spine lengthen up. And then hip hinge just a little bit. I'm going to use the bolster on top of my legs and rest my elbows down on the bolster. Okay, where's the sensation in your body? And then continue to breathe here. Okay, now we're going to keep the legs as they are and move the sensation in the spine. So allow yourself to come up and your right leg's on top. Drift your right arm out to the side, lean over to that side, and then relax the head. If that makes you feel dizzy, put the head back into neutral. And then if you'd like to, you can add the left arm reaching up, lengthening through the side waist. Okay, see if you can relax all of your muscles. Where is the sensation? If the shoulder on the left or the arm that's in the air is giving you a stress response or it's uncomfortable, please place that hand down. It's more important to find the opening through the side waist, the side of the heart, the rib cage, underneath the armpit. Okay, one more breath here. Feel it in your body. And then slowly release out. Go as slow as you can. All right, so there's the arm and the head. Lean back, unfurl, and then decide what you want to do, whether it's the heels, tabletop, windshield wiper, or maybe it's simply sitting still and resting. My joints happen to really like windshield wiper. Okay, and then when you're ready, let's set the other side. So right leg goes out, left leg crosses the midline, and then go slow. Maybe you're supporting that lever with a bolster, a block. Maybe you can draw that lever stack knee to knee. So wherever you are, allow yourself tall spine. I'm going to rest my body into a prop with the bolster by leaning forward and dropping my elbows over and relaxing my head into my hands. So this place of resting my head and softening with breathing. Relax the musculature of the leg that's on the bottom. All right, so release all the tension, all the holding there. And then encourage yourself to be still and sense the sensation from the inside, interoception. So there is a science connection between being able to sense our internal sensation and responses with being able to regulate our nervous systems. So it doesn't ask us to do anything, it just asks us to be aware. So where is the sensation in your body? Scan your body. And if you find yourself in a homemade movie and it's not the movie you want to be in, just allow yourself to release that story Be in your body, present moment experience. One more breath here. Take it all in. Let it all go. Okay, begin moving slowly with care. This idea that how you move is nurturing yourself. So moving slowly. We're going to find the side bend. So lean over to the top leg side. So for me, it's the left. Lean over, go comfortably, and then begin reaching your right arm up. So stretching through the side waist. Okay, make any adjustments with that top arm to allow your shoulder to be comfortable. Maybe you let your head relax down. Right? Maybe you have a little more opening and you can lean into a block or a bolster. Okay, drop into stillness and breathe. Four breathing cycles. Okay, when you've had somewhere around 4, again, encourage yourself to move slowly. Come back up, go slow. There's your arm, your shoulder, your spine, your head. And then once again, find what your body needs. So maybe it's moving in that little heel. Again, no need to force. And then when you're done with that movement, come back to a tall seat for a moment. And then let's find the balance of pulling the energy through the heart. So here we go. Tall place. Draw your hands towards your chest. And then when you're ready, press the walls away. Feel the shoulders retract. Feel the belly turn on. So press the walls away. Maybe flex through your wrists. Where's the sensation? And now cross your left arm over your right at the heart. And then lift the elbows up a little bit. So this is opening up through the back of the shoulders. Maybe bow your head to your heart. Keeping a tall spine. What do you notice? Okay, let's repeat. Let the arms go out wide. Press out wide. All right, so feel your belly tone in. Feel your back muscles engage to support your lumbar spine for this tall place. Press, press, press. And then let's go to that opening. So take the right arm over. Maybe hug arms are more comfortable for you. If eagle arms are available, press your elbows upward. Notice where the sensation goes. And then be with that as you bow your head to your heart. The spaciousness of the back of the heart. All right, so the back of the heart are days gone by, unresolved grief, or expectations of what life should be. Okay, and allow yourself to simply soften in that space and maybe honor this present moment. Okay, notice all the sensation there. Be with it for one more moment. Okay, now release. Give the shoulders a little roll. We're going to come to the belly and we're going to do two options. You're going to decide. If you want to support your lower back, I'm going to ask you to have a blanket or a low prop to lay the belly down onto, right? So what do I mean by that? We're going to come directly down to the belly. The space between the ribs and the pelvis, that can feel really good if you're taking care of your lower back. I'm going to take a different option today where I'm going to draw the blanket or prop underneath my chest. So I'm going to use my bolster here. Okay, so wherever you decide, give yourself a moment to get comfortable. Okay, so we're wanting to have a little bit of attention to the spine in the lower back. So maybe you are resting here in a variation of Makrasana. And just let the legs find their natural place. Okay, now if you've chosen to have the blanket at your belly, turn your head to the most comfortable side. If you're with me with the bolster at the chest, lift up a little bit and slide the bolster closer to you. So maybe the arms go out, maybe the elbows rest. And then let's join by relaxing our heads. Drop your head down. If that makes you feel dizzy or nauseous in any way, bring the head back up into neutral. Or maybe you rest your head in your hands. Right? So that feels really good to my body, that connecting, literally connecting my hands with the fourth chakra to my head. Breathe easy. If you have the blanket underneath your belly, lift your head with the least amount of effort and turn it to the other side. If you have the bolster underneath your chest, shift your focus to your toes and lift your toes or bend your knees just a little bit. Notice how it changes the sensation. And then rest them back down. And let's be here for 3 or 4 more breathing cycles. Stay in the sensation. Tune in. Recognize the sensation in the body. Allow the sensation in the body. All right, that practice of being still is a practice. 2 more breathing cycles. Okay, let's start to exit as slow as we can. We're going to make our way back into child's pose or downward facing dog if that's you. Enjoy it. It should feel really good as you savor lengthening through the spine. So allow the length of the lumbar to feel really good. And then make any adjustments. Offer yourself care for your head. Soften through the jaw. Okay, and then soften into what is it that you're wanting for your body, your mind, your life, and invite that in. You create a little bit of spaciousness in your body. Invite your intention in. Okay, slowly, as slow as you can, return to a seat. And then find that movement or stillness that works for you. And just notice you may want less here. Just simply notice. And then once again, let's come to a tall seat. And we'll move the energy up one more time before we take it down onto the mat. So here it is. Hands at your heart. When you're ready, press the energy outward, right? So this idea of being out in the world, giving some, press away, feel your musculature working, and then take your right arm over your left into that eagle arm. Inhale, lifts it up, feel the sensation. Exhale, release it down, hands at the heart, drifting right into the other side. Press it out. Notice your musculature supporting the tall spine. Left arm over the right. Inhale, feel the sensation at the shoulders. Relax the head. And then nice and easy, release it down. Okay, give the shoulders a little wiggle. Have the block handy when we come down onto the mat. And we're going to return to crossing the midline. So make your way all the way down. Cross your right ankle over your left in this number 4 position. Okay, go slow. Maybe this is it for you. Maybe you're going to lift that bottom lever and hug it into you. Right? If you have the benefit of the wall, you can use that bottom foot and press on the wall or the couch. Now tune in to all the sensation of that outer hip. Right, so stretching out the muscles in the gluteals. We want the balance of strength and stretch. And then feel the respiration at your heart from the inside. So notice your lungs expanding. And that gentle release of the breath, feeling the chest lower, feeling the body release into the earth just a little bit more. And then check in. So let's move toward. Maybe you have a little bit more opening now that we've been here a few breaths. Maybe you can draw that top lever to you just a little bit more. So finding your edge without going over, right? See if there's a little more space in there. Notice how that changes the sensation. Soften and breathe. So we're creating a little bit of sensation there. We're almost ready to release it. So take one more breathing cycle here. And release it down. Maybe feel the creaking of your hip as the arc of aging. Let that heel come down. And then same thing, heel drag just a little bit. Find those organic movements. So maybe it's a little tiny bridge or a one knee windshield wiper. Okay, and then let yourself simply settle. Tune in to all the sensation on that right side right now. Okay, continue to offer your self-care as we find the left side. Cross that left side over. And draw that knee to you. So in the beginning, no need to push or strain, right? It's that mindful practice. Just allow yourself to greet the sensation. And maybe you support that bottom leg on the bolster or the block. Tune into the sensation in the body at the hip. Or maybe you notice a gentle warming of the back of the pelvis as the lower back is anchored down comfortably. Breathe easy. Okay, tune in by going towards. Maybe there's a little more opening there to be had by drawing that bottom lever to you just a little bit. Notice how the sensation changes. And then pay attention. Notice yourself, observe yourself. Can you soften into the sensation? Let your mind be with your body. Sense your hands, part of that heart center, supporting your legs. Breathe easy. And maybe try to differentiate, what does the sensation feel like? Is it warming? Is it pulling? Is it tingling, fuzzing? Stay embodied. So that focused attention keeps us out of that default mode network. All right, so pulling yourself to the front part of the brain. It's simple, but not easy. Okay, let's get ready to open up through all of those joints. So we've got all of this stress on the joints, so allow the lower leg to come down. Unfurl that top leg. Feel like maybe the creaking of the hip joint as you lengthen all the way out, and then move in a way that feels good to you, knowing that you have the knowledge to nurture yourself. Right? Nobody needs to tell you. You really do have the knowledge. Right? The work is to become aware, to quiet down. Or maybe you've already just dropped into stillness. Okay, sense your upper back and shoulders connecting to the earth. Just allowing any tension from the upper body to rest. And now we're going to add a little care to the lower back. Grab a hold of the block. And we're going to place the block behind the pelvis. So let the pelvis be supported by the block. And then walk your legs to the comfortable place where you're not using any musculature. Okay, so you might have to walk it around a little bit until the bones simply support the posture. Okay, if you're looking for a little more opening through that rib cage, you can draw your hands above your head. Notice all the sensation in your legs. As we're activating basically repair through your cells by staying in those stressing of the joints for a little bit. Stimulates the body to repair. Okay, now let's connect the mind to the heart here. So begin cultivating that warm-hearted sensation. Maybe you think about somebody you love, a good friend, a pet, a partner. And let your heart expand into that place. The mind is a wonderful tool. We can use it to bring ourselves comfort, nurture, and care. Okay, so option to stay in this supported bridge pose, or to join me in the last posture of class, Shavasana, with the pillow supporting the back of the knees. Okay. So wherever you are, just have maybe a little bit of wiggle through the heels. Maybe wiggle your feet. Let's release the tension from the shoulders. And then begin tuning in. Taking in the whole body. Your arms and your legs. And let the shoulders grow heavy. Sense the back of the head. Swallow. And then come back to that image of that warm-hearted sensation. Being with somebody you love. Let your heart warm in that place. And then feel that warmth travel in your body. Down your arms. Down your torso. And that warm feeling going down your legs. Your legs are growing heavy. Arms and shoulders melting into the mat. And allow yourself to sink into this warm-hearted feeling. Savor it. Let's spend a few more breaths here, encouraging yourself to be still, still body, quiet mind, warm heart. Okay, begin tuning in. If you feel ready, once again, start with the movement in your heels. Maybe take a full body stretch. Or maybe you want to continue in stillness. And if you're ready to complete your practice, move slowly to a tall seat. So maybe roll over onto your side and let your head be the last to rise. Okay, friends. Come back to your warm-hearted intention. And then let's close it up and seal it up with 3 chants of Om. When we create a little bit of space in our body, we're allowed to choose what movie we want to play, right? We really do have some control over what we run through our mind and what we run through our body. The light in me sees the light in you. Namaste.